Hi, my name is Andrea and welcome, I guess. I have wanted to start a channel for a while now, a couple years probably, but I haven't been actively trying since the beginning of 2021, and for reasons that will probably become clear later, I'm just now getting around to it. The primary reason I had been hesitant to start this channel was my uncertainty around exactly what sort of content I would be creating. I really enjoy Booktube, but I thought, do I really have anything to add to the discourse? I am mostly a mood reader. I don't really read a lot of books that would be considered super popular, at least not according to a lot of the videos that I watch. Also, I had intended, at least a little bit, to include writerly content, but I don't think that I would have enough energy or enough ideas to really keep a channel going that was dedicated exclusively, as an AuthorTube channel. So after agonizing over it long enough to successfully have accomplished nothing, I thought, lots of things can be two things. And so here we are. So in terms of a newbie tag, I thought about doing both in AuthorTube newbie tag and Booktube newbie tag, but then this video would be a little too long and a lot of the questions are redundant anyway, so I took some questions from each, eliminating what would be essentially me repeating myself, and I ended up with, I think, 9 questions. So here we go. Question number 1, why did you start this channel? I mean, in addition to all of the reasons that I've already said, I really enjoy how, at least this little corner of YouTube really is a community and a network of sorts. So I just really enjoy the idea of being able to talk in a more direct way about the things that I enjoy and the things that I have in common with other people. And also, when appropriate, be able to offer advice or offer help. I am neurodivergent, and it is very, very important to me that everything that I do be seen through that lens. About 1/3, ideally 1/3 of my videos will be about neurodivergence, particularly ADHD and executive function. So as I learn more about executive skills and how to improve them, particularly as they relate to writing and my day-to-day life, I will be able to share that with you, and hopefully some people might find that beneficial, might find that helpful, hopefully. Question number 2, why do you love reading? Why do you love writing? Other than the obvious answers, like to learn stuff or for escapism, I think that my top answer for both would be stories. I've always loved, as I'm sure many of you also do, storytelling as a concept. It is pleasant and reassuring when most events and experiences are packaged, neat, knowable stories with a beginning and a middle and an end. It doesn't always make sense, but it is mostly reliable. And the exciting part is figuring out the how of each part and why it takes the path it does and what that says about who is writing it and who is reading it. Reading is, of course, easier than writing because the how and the why you don't have to make up yourself. Okay, question number 3. When did you start writing and what was it? I think I started writing at around age 14. I say I think because due to brain reasons, my memory is very poor, but I do not recall writing anything outside of school assignments until about that time. I moved from Georgia to Nebraska in 1995. And I think it was shortly before my 14th birthday. And we drove. And on the way there, I started writing something. Ostensibly, I think it was supposed to be some sort of book. I had absolutely no plan. I had no outline, no real theme, just started writing. I think I modeled it on what I might have been reading at the time, which was probably YA or VC Andrews, so who's to say what I would have ended up with? I know that it was supposed to be in some fashion, like semi-autobiographical. And the parents, who were loosely based on my parents, stayed together instead of divorcing, which is only mildly embarrassing because, again, I was almost 14 and it was 1995, and my parents split up in like in 1989. So this is not like a particular trauma that I was nursing or anything. I didn't feel any particular way about it. So I'm not quite sure what that was. I think that it was supposed to be about like love and stability, which makes a lot of sense because as time went on, the more I wrote, the more, whether it was fiction or poetry, it was about love going the right way, ending up the way that it was supposed to, in my mind. Not like happily ever after, but just like everybody is stable, everybody is content, and everybody, just like that love was fair, and that everyone who was loved back, and everybody was just happy. I mean, maybe that is happily ever after, but also I had a problem even then with finishing things that I started, and so it's hard to say if there was any happy ever after because there were usually no endings. As I got older, 16, 17 years old, my writing became decidedly more erotic. I think that if anybody ever read what I wrote in high school, which fortunately is not possible because it was all contained on a little green floppy disk, which has since been destroyed. So, but if anybody could go back in time and read what I was writing in high school, they would send me directly to horny jail. Again, I had no direct experience about like any of the things that I was writing. So, it was weird and pining and slightly confused and also sad. I think sad is a good way to encapsulate a lot of what I was writing in high school. Fortunately, as I got older and I read more and explored different genres, then my writing, both in quality and type, also became a bit more diverse. Question number 4. What genres do you read? Are they different than those you write? I read a lot. I would like to think that I read pretty widely. I do enjoy literary fiction, speculative fiction, historical fiction, with the exception of anything that takes place in World War II. That's simply because there's just so much of it, and I'm just a little over it. I am a huge advocate of short fiction. I like books of short stories. Flash fiction, if I can find it in a collection, is really, really nice. As far as nonfiction, I really enjoy memoir, books of essays. Also history. I have a master's degree in medieval history, and I do still read quite a bit about the Middle Ages, a little less than I used to. I also, because a special interest, a focused interest of mine is the interwar period, which is just what it sounds like. It's the period of American history in between World War I and World War II, so a period of about 1918 to about 1939, 1940. And bonus, if I can find any historical fiction in those time periods, that is also kind of my favorite. Now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm like saying it out loud, I think a lot of what I read is very similar to what I write. I again, favor short fiction, so I write a lot of short stories that I would probably classify as speculative. I like the weird and creepy, also the spooky. So I would love to be better at writing horror than I actually am. But because I'm not super duper confident about my writing ability, I just try to smash it all under like one sort of vaguely speculative kind of literary short fiction. Historical fiction is very intimidating. I've thought about it and I have a couple of ideas. I may revisit it, I may never, but that is basically it. Question number 5. What authors inspire you? Who are guaranteed buys for you? First and forever in my heart would have to be Neil Gaiman. Mostly because he's so prolific and crosses genre like without even trying. Everyone's a banger. Also, N.K. Jemisin, mostly for the same reason. Let's see. I also enjoy Akwaeke Emezi, P. Jelly Clark, Daisy Johnson. I feel really bad because even though I knew this was coming and I had the question written down, had some notes, I still feel like I'm being put on the spot and I still feel like I will ultimately forget a bunch. Nonfiction, Samantha Irby, Lindy West. No guaranteed buys, but a lot of chances are pretty good I'm gonna get that buys. But I can't think of anything else. Okay, question number 6. How do you write? What is your method? Now, this is a pretty vague question, but I think I take this to mean in context like, are you a planner? Are you a pantser? Are you somewhere in between? I am, for the most part, a planner. I love an outline. I will write and rewrite outlines. I think I enjoy planning much more than the actual writing part, but then again, anyone who writes, who doesn't? So that said, I think my favorite part of the writing process, and ultimately, again, in my opinion, the most important, is free writing, and that is a timed period in which you write without censoring or editing yourself, without stopping if you can help it. And if I could choose to do anything in the writing process, it would be free writing, which is actually pretty good because one idea can turn into a different idea, can turn into another idea, the more you actually just go. So I think that's the only unplanned part of my writing, but it might be the thing that I do the most. So maybe in the middle, but once the free writing is done, then I can go ahead and generate an outline from that. So it's still planned. So middle part, I don't know. I'm gonna say planner. I don't know what else this question wants. Computer? I do want a computer. I almost exclusively keep all of my ideas and do all of my writing digitally. I use Microsoft OneNote. I have been using Microsoft OneNote since like 2013, and I fear change. So I keep all of my ideas and all of my notes in a separate notebook in Microsoft OneNote. In terms of writing drafts, I use Scrivener, which is like OneNote in that way, but it's a little more organized within the draft. That I think is it. I do handwrite notes on occasion. I always keep a little notebook with me, but I can't write by hand for extended periods because we've got some joint issues and tendinitis. So yeah, I hope that's it. I hope that's what that question wanted. Question number 7, what kind of videos can we expect from your channel? I think I said before, like, if I were to be asked what I think I have that I have not seen on Booktube, AuthorTube, LitTube? Yes, I like that and I'm gonna keep using it. Is emphasis on reading, writing, living as a neurodivergent person. And I would consider that an equal third part of my content. That said, for a brief second, I'm going to say now, and I will probably say again later, that I do not intend at any point to speak on any topic as an authority on the subject. My diagnoses are new, and as I learn more about myself, how my brain works, and how to function better as a human, I will share that information as it comes. And again, hopefully that will be beneficial to some who might watch the videos. Ambitious? Probably. A bad idea? Maybe. Who's to say? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Question number 8. What are you most excited about for this new channel? On a completely practical level, I am excited for the time when it is easy. And it may never be easy, but what I mean to say is that I have no idea what I am doing. I am excited to learn more about editing and, scheduling and posting and all of that stuff, because I already know, based on the length of my recording, that I'm going to need to edit a lot. And it just sounds like so much work. So I'm excited for the time when it will be easier than it is now when I'm starting. I'm also excited to engage with the people that watch my videos. Look, I might end up with only 2 subscribers, and that's fine. 2, 10, 100, whatever. The idea of actually replying to comments on the video. I know that I could comment on videos and participate in lives and that sort of thing, and like consider myself a part of the community, but again, in a more direct way, where I can have conversations with people who have things in common with me. I'm very excited about that. Be friends with me. Okay, question number 9. What challenges about starting your channel do you think will be the hardest to overcome? I think in some fashion, I have already addressed most of them. The biggest being, I have no idea what I am doing. And it will probably be not great in the beginning. And I know that going in. So it can be discouraging, of course, if I'm not like living up to my own expectations, or not learning things in terms of like editing and that sort of thing quickly enough. That can be a bit of a challenge. Also, the second fairly big challenge is going to be executive function. I'm going to go into this, of course, later. But if you don't know, executive skills are cognitive skills that, among other things, allow a person to control behavior and emotion, to facilitate and accept change, and to initiate and complete tasks. And if you'll notice, basically all of those are necessary when trying to accomplish almost any task, much less producing videos and editing videos and releasing videos. So I feel like, though a labor of love, it is a substantial mental load, and it is a like a to-do list that is inherently long. So it will be a lot of work, but I'm sure that once I get the hang of it, it's going to be easier going. And like I said, for all of the reasons that I'm excited to be doing this, I think that at least for right now, outweighs any trepidation that I might have in terms of putting out these videos. At least, hopefully, probably. Okay, that is actually it. That's the last question that I have. So, sorry to end on kind of an anticlimactic note. But yeah, I don't anticipate the worst. I am more excited than I am scared. And that's it. First video down. Nice. So if you're still here, thank you. Thank you for watching. And let me know, what genres do you like to read? Do you write? Do you have ADHD, autism? Shout out. Be my friend. Let me know. And I am too new to have any sort of outro or anything like that. So again, thank you very much, and I will see you soon in my next video.